Hey everyone, welcome back to the official Wingfeather Saga podcast. I'm your host, Chris Wall. So glad to have you here. It is my pleasure each episode to welcome a new guest and to kind of bring you into my world, my day-to-day of getting to work with alongside these amazing artists and people who help bring the series to life. So I hope you enjoyed today's discussion. Our special guest is Jennifer, who, let me tell you, you've heard maybe in other episodes of our podcast about the importance of really good production management. And today, you're going to see why we think that's such an awesome thing. So join me in welcoming Jennifer. Hey.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
You look lovely. Lovely orange.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Yep.
Yes.
I went with, I think it's pink. That's
It
what
is
we're doing
pink.
here.
It
Is this
pink.
a fall color?
It is not.
No.
No.
But it looked good to me on the shelf this morning.
Yes. And it highlights you well with the
In a previous
background here,
podcast, I walked in here with a black shirt.
Oh, not
And
good.
I said, no, can't do it.
No.
And had to switch.
I do a pop of orange.
I need to have like a wardrobe on the side.
Yeah.
You know.
I know. Hair, makeup. They didn't show up today.
That's not what we're doing.
No.
Well, it's good to have you on here.
Thank
And tell us about your role. What do you do with the Wingfeather Saga?
I was hired initially as the associate producer
Mhm.
and then became the line producer,
Mhm.
which my mother would ask, what's the difference? And I'm
Right,
like, not much. Not much, really. So at the start of season 3, so I've been on here a year now.
An amazing year, an astonishing year of organizing and kind of shepherding, what is relatively young staff.
Mhm.
I think that's unique about our company is there's a bit of strata where there's a bunch of us who are 20 plus years of animation experience.
Yep.
And then a lot of staff who were their first job out of school, right?
Yeah.
And you have come alongside and helped them to be the best versions of themselves. And this is new for you because you largely had experience in feature and direct-to-video kind of world, right?
Yep. A lot of feature film, a lot of direct-to-video. Started at Disney Toons. So yeah, but taking that knowledge and bringing it into series it's just a natural flow. I mean, the difference I think between the two is the timing. Like we're on a much faster pace
Sure.
than a feature film, but the work is the same,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's exciting though. It's been a fun year.
Had you previously worked with teams where it was all one team like this, where it's not outsourced to another studio?
I have, but the unusual part of it was it was when I was in London.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was working for Paramount Animation, but we were in the same building with our partner
With the
studio.
vendor. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so with Mikros. So we were together physically. And, then in another example too, I was hired to be the producer for the Descendants shorts on the Disney Channel. And that was with Prana in India. So my whole team was there, but I was in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So yeah, but mainly partner studio.
So currently, you're still living in LA.
Yes.
We're working on that. We'd love to have you in Nashville. And commanding this team that a good chunk of them here in Nashville.
Yeah.
So you've got time zones to work out.
Yep.
Talk about creating art together with a team like this in different geographic places, and how do you get that sense of team and camaraderie? And because you've done an amazing job, what are some of the things you've learned in your career to do this so well?
Well, a lot of my learning comes from just listening. So I had to do that. I had to learn what does this staff know already?
Mhm.
Who's new to this series? Who's new to animation? So then I know how to either guide them, champion them, walk them through, this is a case and stuff. So the more information I have ahead of time, the more I feel like I can help that persons, the departments, whatever, grow in that situation. So
Yeah, and it's interesting because you work with a lot of very technical people too, who your mandate is here's the time, here's the budget, figure out how to make it all work in that system without everybody like freaking out and running to the hills, right? Like it's this interesting bedside manner of like the sky is falling. I just hate to tell you this, but
Mhm.
but also let's get to work. I mean, how do you? I'm so fascinated by it because you do such a great job with managing information and helping people to work through this huge project, right? That's 18 months of work from start to finish,
Yeah.
overlapping with a second and a third season simultaneously.
Well, the number one thing is don't panic, at least not on camera and Zoom. Save it
Okay,
for when you
that's
disconnect.
good. Yeah.
But even if I don't know the technical genre and
Mm-hmm.
what is affecting them, I know that there's a problem. And that's one of the key things that I like doing as being part of the producing team is problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure I hear you what's happening. And it's so, so important to listen and then try and come up with solutions, but still continue listening and accept, oh, that's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we bring this up so often too. It's like you can have a great, what you think is a great suggestion or solution, and it may not be, but it's not personal.
Mm-hmm.
It's we're all trying to work together. And that's what's been so great about this team too, is all of us collaborating. And even though I may not have a lot of background in a certain department, my brain is still constantly moving for efficiencies
Mm-hmm.
or,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, how to fix, how to problem solve.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you can get the feeling of someone who's drowning and they're underwater. How do I help them to get back to treading? And those that are you not busy right now? Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I tried hard to. You don't want to tell someone to not have their feelings. Like if they're feeling stressed, they're going to feel stressed. But I like to let them know, hey, it's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's let us figure that out. You are doing your job. Just because maybe your department didn't hit their deadline, that doesn't mean you're doing your job. Wrenches were thrown your
Sure.
way. And it's our job as leadership too, especially the producing team, is expect the wrench is going to be thrown,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the whole toolbox. But take a breath. All right, we got to fix this. And then it's about how you react.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many times that artists, they'll be like, this is the best film I've ever worked on. And I'm like, what? Do you know what happened? And I'm like, oh, they don't know what happened because that was
Sure.
our job. Like
Yeah.
we kept that from them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that's why we do this, right? It's like we all want that same end result to work on something that we're proud of. We can't control the box office. We can only do so much, but man, to work together like that, it's a great feeling. That's why I keep doing it.
So, animation is this team sport. I mean, it's an incredible team sport.
Oh, yeah.
Where, sure, somebody gets to claim one piece that they did and someone else gets,
Yeah.
sure, that's fine. But it is a team sport,
Oh, for sure.
all the way through. What got you interested in animation? Because I don't think it's where you started. How did you find your way down this lane?
Yeah, it was an accident. I was going to be an actress.
Uh-huh.
And so I moved to Los Angeles, and I knew I didn't have the temperament. I didn't have the gumption to
Uh-huh.
be a waitress or do catering like a lot of, my friends had and stuff. So I got a part-time job at a bookstore. And I met a coworker who worked at Disney Feature Animation, and she said, "Hey, we're hiring a PA. Would you want to interview?" And I'm like, "Work at Disney? Yes." I don't know what PA stands for, but yes, I want to interview. So I went to the interview. They loved my enthusiasm. I was very honest with them. They explained to me what PA was, and they were very excited.
Which is what?
Well, it could be anything
Just for a
from,
little bit.
yeah, production assistant, personal assistant, depends on the
Sure.
studio and everything. But anyways, they needed someone that could just jump right in and handle it. And I was just young, excited, willing to do whatever. So they had me meet with a producer who needed a production secretary. So I met with her and I got the job. And it was TV animation at Disney at the time, and then it became Disney Toon Studio. But I would sit there as a production secretary, really wondering, why are all the other production secretaries so stressed and busy where I wasn't? So I just kept saying, hey, can I help my team out? Is there something I can do? So they handed me a script and told me how to break down a script. I went, helped out with recordings and stuff like that. So it went from me going to auditions and stuff to me wanting, how do you make this animation? I'm like, I want to see how a cartoon's made. I wanted, I was still curious. I wanted to see like what's happening. I
Hmm.
want to learn more and learn more. So I stuck around, and 23 plus years later, I'm still curious and still learning.
I think your resiliency is one of the things that I love working with you, is because the bomb will go off and it's like, okay,
Yep.
how you feeling? You want some coffee right now? Like, it's just,
Yeah.
you're just really calm in the face of those moments, which is so critical in our role, because we do work with artists who are sensitive,
Yeah.
and so I think that's what's garnered you this long run, is because you have managed the chaos of
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, that's pretty chaotic. We'll talk about it later. Like, it's just kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
take it in
Yeah.
its stride, instead of we're going to stop everything right now. We're going to build more drama. It's like, okay, let's figure this out, because it is the nature of production too, that it's difficult at times. There's things that are challenges we didn't expect, and the ones we expected turned out to be not challenges. But yeah, it's a whole thing. We were talking just before we started here just about working with cast, right? Working with
Yeah.
agents and figuring out how do we best get this right. And
Yeah. There's a lot of personalities out there. And I mean, this didn't come, immediately or easily. Like, I learned this over the years
sure,
to, settle down more, be
yeah,
patient more, realize how you present yourself when you're in a meeting, how you show up to work. We talk about that a lot too. And I think just, as I've grown in the industry and I've gone from studio to studio, you have mentors, you have people that you look up
hmm
to,
hmm
and
hmm
and hopefully I'm instilling that in, our young staff too, as well as you.
And I
And
love the way that you often ask the question, how do you think you're doing? Let someone like, let's get connected with reality,
yeah,
because maybe you don't know that we
yeah,
think you're doing terrible, or that you're doing fantastic. Frankly,
right,
it could
right.
be either direction. In a remote studio like this, you can't read them, right? You're not in the room necessarily to see, oh, they look like they're feeling badly, right? And so how do I help them to recover? Although I do that from time to time, I'll be send you a note, hey Jennifer, so and so looks like they're having a tough time.
Yeah,
Want
yeah,
to
yeah.
reach out to them,
Well, I also try and ask questions that aren't just yes, no, or just, how are you doing? Great. No, you're not.
right? Yeah,
It's obvious you're not.
sure,
So it's just
sure.
like, hey, what's going on? What I think that's a lot of the role too. We've talked about, we all wear different hats on this project in this series, and I've joked about it in the past too. Part of being a line producer or associate producer, you also become kind of like the staff therapist.
Yeah,
Just
yep.
check in.
Hmm.
It doesn't,
Hmm.
you just want to, especially in a remote situation too, as this studio is, which is fantastic. But a lot of us, we work alone.
Hmm.
We're by ourselves a lot, and just and ever since the pandemic, you just want to reach out and check with someone.
Hmm.
How's it going?
Hmm.
What'd you do
Hmm.
today? And just be human, care.
One of the things about our industry too is that there's often abuse, right? We talked about the Animation Guild is the oldest guild because Walt was abusive with his labor practices, right? And one of the things that you've heard from us is we value, hey, we're gonna work hard,
Yeah.
y'all. We're gonna pretty wiped out end of a week. We're gonna put it in, but we're also gonna respect the people, right? And say,
Mhm.
hey, you need to take a breather here, or you need to slow down a little bit. You're pushing too hard, right?
Yeah.
And I love that you carry that so gently with our staff, right? Because
Mhm.
sometimes it's the other way, where it's like, gonna need you to work a little harder. I know you think you're working hard. You're not quite working as hard as you can, right? There's
Mhm.
more in there. Let's go,
Yeah, it's that work-life balance.
Yeah.
It's like I've been part of studios where they maybe didn't care this much or were this kind. And, I did work with some challenging personalities, and it was very, very hard and very difficult. But again, you learn from it, and
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
learn who you want to be and who you don't want to be.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. That's helpful too, I think. I've
Mhm.
certainly been the same, where it's like, I do not want to do it like that person did
Mhm.
it. I'll find my own path forward. Is there for you then, now working in this animation field accidentally for so long,
Mm-hmm.
do you have a favorite film or TV series that like keeps you moving forward? I mean, I think we all have to have some sort of love for the craft.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the early, like the Disney powerhouse days of,
Hmm.
Lion King and Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin. Like, I love all those movies. The early Pixar,
Hmm.
nothing wrong with the late Pixar, but loved, the early Pixar movies too. But lately, man, Spider-Verse,
Hmm.
that first episode, I mean, the first sequence, I was like, wait, am I watching animation?
Yeah.
Like, is that what this is? Like, there's some really, really clever, amazing, creative people out there. And I think also that's why I fought so hard these last couple of years, not finding work and wanting to stay in this industry because I can't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah.
There's so much fun stuff out there. Growing up, it was Scooby Doo.
Sure.
My nickname was Jennifer Tweeter, so it was Tweety Bird, stuff like that. So, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of films and series out there that are still really timeless.
Hmm.
And when I catch it on TV, I'll rewatch it again.
Yeah. Love that. What does a typical day look like for you? You're obviously West Coast. You've got team here in Central Time Zone, and then you've got artists in Europe. What does a typical day look like for you?
Oh, typical.
Well played.
Well, I walk Henry twice a day.
Henry, tell us
My
about
dog.
Henry.
Yes, I'll tell you
Hmm.
about my golden doodle. Um, I don't. I think that's what's exciting about all the projects. There isn't really a typical day. I check Slack and email right when I wake up because of the time zone difference. Check it before I go to bed because of the time zone difference. Then, when I actually get to my computer and sit down, I check it again
Hmm.
because something has happened within that hour and
Hmm.
a half.
Hmm.
And then the whole day is spent. We're working on 3 seasons right now.
Hmm.
So I have budgets, schedules, finding the resources for those 3 seasons, making sure we're on track, staying on schedule, checking in on the staff, making sure we're okay, playing the HR, playing the recruiting. So it's different each day, but there's still a nice flow to it. And coming to Franklin, I always joke, we get so much done when I come here. I don't mean that there's not a lot of work that doesn't get done when I'm not here. It's just not having the 2 walks a day with Henry and just being able to sit and work and have people in person
Yep.
and just grab them and just say, we got to get this done, get this done. It ticks all that stuff out and it's super, super, super helpful.
Hmm.
But typical day,
Yeah, it's a lot of checking in with this staff, I
yeah,
suppose, and just
yeah.
how are things going? How are things going? Eyes on the ground.
Yep,
Yep. They didn't hear from you. Do we have an update?
right.
Oop, I didn't hear from you again. Do you have
Yep.
an update?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, it's a lot of waiting for information and then following up to get information.
yeah,
That is a typical day.
that, yeah,
Yes.
which could come through any manner of Slack and other things. Is
Oh,
there so far a favorite moment? You've had a year and some change in this. Is there a moment that like has been really special?
yes. My gasp moment was the first time I came here when we did the 301 episode viewing with the entire crew.
Yeah.
And we turned Zoom on, and every person that I'd only heard their name, I was seeing their face for the first
Mm.
time. And I got a little emotional, but also like excited, like, oh, you, oh my gosh, hello, you. Like, that was so cool to me. Was when we had, I don't even know how many people were in that first viewing, but that was probably my favorite moment. Was
Mhm.
when we all got together for that thing. And now we do it all the time. So it's always fun. Like, it's, I want to play host so I can let all these people in and see who's coming in the Zoom room and stuff like that. But yeah, I like it when the crew comes together as a team.
Mhm.
I think it's strong and supportive and it shows we care and we want everyone to get to know each other and stuff. I love that.
It's so great. And you're great at helping to build those spaces for us. Season 3 is coming so fast.
I know.
Is there, if we had a super fan walk in here that just wanted to know, Jennifer, tell us, what are you most excited about in season 3 that you think they would be excited about?
Well, I would tell them to buckle up and get ready for a ride. Just
Yeah.
like you said, it's coming so fast. It's crazy. It's epic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I can't wait.
Yeah, going from, we talked about this earlier today, but going from book 1, season 1 to now, it's a big wow. It's a what?
I know. Well, you go from the, oh, it's a cute little kid show to,
Oh, hello.
Like I just had somebody say, oh, it's like Arcane for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has
Yeah.
that level of sophistication.
Lord of the Rings,
Yep.
little Harry Potter, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting.
Is there a part of this production or other animation production that you've been a part of that you feel like doesn't get talked about enough? Like there's certain segments, obviously, that get talked about quite a bit, that you think our friends here tuning in should know more about?
Yeah, I think it's the production staff. It's not a glamorous job. There's no award for it. You know, there's, the blood, sweat, and tears that production staff goes through. They're a really, really critical part of the flow of a film or series, how it gets delivered. They put a lot into it, but I also like how they collaborate with one another, and give each other tips and stuff. And just as I climbed the ladder too, I recognized that I was like, wow, production staff doesn't usually get a holler out. So when someone does give them a call out, like at a wrap party or a premiere or something, it's special because, like I said, it's just, I don't think that team is recognized enough because, they're not an artist per se, but I feel like everyone in the animation world's an artist. We all create something. I create spreadsheets.
Well, like I was just
reports.
I was with Josiah a minute ago, and Josiah was showing me this new code that he created to help Roman doing layout to get a dashboard to behave properly, so he could get the assets he needed to get into the scene, right? And he literally opened up and showed me the string of code that he'd made and how it all talked to each other, and that is a version of art that enables art, right?
Yes.
And
yeah,
100%. Yeah, and then production management. So much of it is if without the cadence and the rhythm of like,
right,
what are we doing? Where are we at? I know you've been so great at helping us with a war board of like, where are we in this interminable pixel mine that we never will see daylight again?
Like, what season are we talking about?
Right? It's like, oh, air. Oh, we're over. Okay,
yes,
we're getting there, guys. We're real close.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I can't wait for everybody to see what we've all cooked up together.
Me too.
And thanks for your incredible leadership to get our staff going in the right direction.
Oh, thank you.
And helping them to know you're the most aspired position in our company. So when we hear that, it's people tell us, Jennifer, I want to be a line producer like her. That's because you have
orange.
shown a way forward, and I'm so glad they're getting mentored by you.
Oh, thanks, Grace.
It's delightful. So, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Glad to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
Well, thanks for joining me today and my special guest. To watch the series, of course, check out wingfeathersaga.com and follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook at Wingfeather Saga. Make sure to check out the program wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. This has been a Shining Isle production produced by Jaron Weatherly, edited by Davis Coggin, executive produced by myself, Brock Starnes, and Andrew Peterson.